When my son came out as gay, I didn't feel an ounce of change in my love for him. But my wife, she looked at me differently, and then she told me to stop hugging him. Just him, not his twin brother. Because now, she felt uncomfortable. Let me take you back. I was 17, a kid. My girlfriend at the time was 16. We were young, reckless, and thought the world would wait for us to grow up. It didn't. She got pregnant with twins. Her parents made it clear they didn't want these babies ruining her future. Their ultimatum was brutal. Either I take full custody or we give them up for adoption. At 17, I wanted the easy way out. I said adoption. But my parents stepped in. They told me no. So for the first 7 years of my boys' lives, I wasn't really a father. They knew I was their dad, but I acted more like the older brother who was always around, but never fully there. It was my parents who did the heavy lifting. When I was finally ready to move out, I wanted to go alone. That's when my dad reminded me they were my responsibility. If I was moving out, they were coming with me. At first, I didn't want it, but somewhere in those early days of just us, something shifted. I started learning what it meant to actually be their father. We built a bond, slowly, deliberately. One of the simplest, most intimate rituals we formed was movie nights. Me on the couch, one boy on my left, the other on my right. My arms wrapped around them, their heads resting on my chest. Sometimes I'd kiss their foreheads without thinking. It became our thing, our comfort. Years passed, and that closeness stayed. 5 years ago, I met my current wife. By then, the boys were 15, teenagers, but still willing to sit close during movies. When she saw us, she never said a word about it. We dated, had a daughter together, got married 3 years ago. The twins grew up and went off to college, but whenever they came home, the old ritual returned like no time had passed. 2 grown young men, still leaning in close to their dad for a movie, still letting me put my arms around them. Then, 2 weeks ago, my son Liam came to visit. He sat across from me, nervous, but determined. He told me he was gay, and then he introduced me to his boyfriend. I smiled. I told him I loved him. I told him I just wanted him to be happy, because nothing about my love for him had changed. But apparently, for my wife, something had. A week later, Liam visited again. I was already on the couch, with our daughter on my left. When Liam arrived, he dropped onto the spot at my right, rested his head on my shoulder. I wrapped my arm around him like always, kissed his forehead, and said, "Good to have you back, buddy." The next morning, my wife sat me down. She told me she felt uncomfortable with what I'd done, uncomfortable with me hugging and kissing my son. And then she clarified. She was fine with me doing it to Lucas, his twin brother, but not Liam. Not now. Her reason? She didn't actually say the words, but it was clear. Liam's sexuality had changed the way she saw a father's affection. I told her she had no business interfering with my relationship with my sons. And yes, I called her what it was, homophobic. She shot back, accusing me of not treating her like an equal parent. I told her the truth. That's okay, because you are not. She didn't raise these boys. She met them at 15. She's my wife, yes, but she's not their mother. And she doesn't get to decide that my gay son should get less affection than his straight brother. Later, my own brother tried to smooth things over. He told me I should understand that this was a big change for her. But to me, there is no getting used to your child's sexuality. It's not a problem to solve. It's not even your business to adjust to. He's the same son he's always been. Now my wife has gone to stay with her parents. Our daughter is with me. And I can tell you one thing. My son comes first. I don't care how my wife was raised or what biases she's carried. I have 3 children. There are billions of women in the world, but I only have 3 children. And I will not let anyone, not even my spouse, drive a wedge between me and my son because of who he loves. So, am I the asshole? Here's what I think. Too often, love is treated like it's conditional, as if it has to pass some invisible test to stay pure. But the truth is, real parental love doesn't shift with a label. It doesn't shrink because of who your child is attracted to. It doesn't retreat because society, or a partner, or even a spouse says it should feel uncomfortable. This story is not just about a father and son. It's about the quiet, unspoken ways prejudice can creep into the most intimate corners of our lives. A forehead kiss during a movie, an arm around a shoulder. Suddenly, something that's always been innocent becomes a point of suspicion, but only after the truth of someone's identity comes out. That is the nature of bias. It waits until the moment of vulnerability, then rewrites the rules. For parents, for anyone who loves another human being, the challenge is simple, but not easy. When someone shows you who they are, you decide whether your love will expand to meet them or shrink away to protect your comfort. The man in this story made his choice. He chose expansion. He chose to keep loving his son exactly the way he did before. And that choice is a gift his son will carry for the rest of his life. So I want to leave you with this. If someone you love reveals something about themselves that changes your picture of them, will you let that new detail close the distance between you? Or will you hold them even closer, so they never doubt for a moment that they still belong? Because one day, that choice might be the difference between your relationship surviving or disappearing forever.